All right, this question's for me. Would you rather have walnut or hickory for your living room? I have animals and wonder if hickory's the best. If I place rugs smartly around the floor, will the walnut last just as long? All right, let me put this out front. I adore walnut. I love the looks of walnut. Growing up, our granny had a bunch of walnut trees. We'd go over there and she'd let us shoot the walnuts out of them with a .22 rifle. I don't know what the correlation is there, but I've always loved walnut. That being said, walnut has three deficiencies. One, it's very expensive, okay? Not a lot of it out there. It's hard to saw. Seems like every walnut tree in the world has had a fence against it. It's full of nails. Sawmills hate them. Two, walnut's soft. It's about like a soft maple. It does dent. It dents easily, okay? Third, walnut gets a lot lighter over time. I didn't realize it until last year. I went over to a cousin's house and he had bought this rift and quarter walnut we had. Now, rift and quartered is harder than regular because of the way it's done, but his hasn't dented, but he had put it down and it faded quite a bit. I still really like the color. It was almost like an older maple floor. Did you see it? Mm-hmm. It had an interesting look, but it didn't look like it did when they put it down. It had only been about a year. So I think if in a room that is a lot about looks and you take care of it and you don't have a tremendous amount of direct sunlight, I think walnut would be awesome. I mean, there's no prettier floor in the world, in my opinion, than maple. That being said, hickory is just the opposite. I mean, hickory is indestructible. It's the hardest domestic wood that there is. It Janka's, what's it, Janka, 1300 or something?
1320, I believe.
It's way up there. You're going to have a hard time denting hickory. One downside about hickory, though, is because of how hard it is, if you introduce moisture to it, it's more likely to cup. Right. So especially if you're talking about a solid hickory, if you're going with a wider board, you're much more likely to have moisture issues with it. So if you're going to buy hickory floor, either stay away from the wide boards or really keep an eye on that humidity. Spend an extra $20 on a hygrometer, stick it on the wall, and don't let it get over about 50–55%.
But her hickory will do better with her animals.
Oh yeah,
definitely much better.
Your animals aren't going to mark up. They're not going to dent a hickory floor. And if you've got a good aluminum oxide finish like all of our pre-finished floors do, your animals aren't going to bother that. Okay.